Free and Kira Live, the voice of passionate action, bringing fresh perspectives and timeless wisdom for today's shifting paradigm. Now, it is your moment to open your mind, relax into your body and spirit as we explore the greater meaning of your now experience. Bringing wisdom, laughter, and clarity, here are Shri and Kira.
Namaste and welcome to Shri and Kira Live. I am wisdom teacher Shri Ram Kaur.
And I am Master Lady Kira Ra, and welcome to an extraordinary moment. I want to invite you right now to just bring a hand to your heart. This is a massive week. We knew it was coming. It is the first of 4 peak up levels this year, 4 this year. And there is so much to share. So let's dive into this incredible moment with our hands on our heart, coming together in community and saying yes, because we are here right now, and there's a lot to share.
Absolutely. We're roaring into 2021. And the energy of 2021 is indeed powerful. It is indeed calling us forward to recognize what has begun in 2020 and to, in the mirroring of 2020, to actually amplify some of the energies that we experience.
So breathe that in as well, that, remember, we are in a profound moment. So today, right now, the Ascension calendar is out. We're going to be diving into it. What's really going on? Concentric dimensionality, spiral time, peak up levels. What the heck are we talking about? Including the fact that we are in a year right now that is all about eternal life and resurrection. Yeah. There is just so much happening. So get into the phone lines. First and foremost, over there at BBS Radio, 888-627-6008. Get in there, 888-627-6008. We are going to be taking questions during the first hour. Mini soul readings will be happening in the second hour, but if you have questions, they tend to blend. But, so if you call in, get in, stay in the queue. But if you have a question, make sure you let our producer know over there at BBS, 888-627-6008. And, of course, over at Oneness Talk Radio, 517-208-1500. Again, 517-208-1500. And that's where *5, you raise your hand and that means, hey, I've got a question. And guys, really, if you have your hand raised and we call on you and you don't have a question, don't raise your hand because we're trying to
help us help you.
Help us keep it going. So again, if you just want a mini soul reading, then don't raise your hand, and then we'll make sure we get to you during the second half of the show.
Beautiful. So we're delighted to welcome you here at Official Shri and Kira at YouTube channel, Oneness Talk Radio, BBS Radio, and other affiliates who are picking up this stream. We want to send a big mwah. We thank you.
Mwah.
We are so delighted that you have chosen to tune in to your ascended energy.
Yeah.
Because truly, this is kind of the moment. We're talking about thrive or dive in 2021. And to thrive means I am alive. I am here.
Right?
I am joyful. I am aligned with my highest potential, and I am witnessing that unfolding. Pause there for a moment. I am aligned with my highest potential, and I am witnessing it unfolding. This addresses the fact that sometimes our memory says, well, wait a minute, you haven't reached your peak yet. It's okay. You don't know where your peak is until you passed it. And you may never pass it. You may keep going. So why not watch and witness the unfolding revelation that is your destiny as well as our shared destiny?
Well, I'm loving where you're going with the witnessing, because what that's also sharing is that there is an acceptance of multidimensional consciousness. Shri and I also want to give a huge shout out. We love you to everyone that was involved over last night when Shri and I were on Saturday Night Live. It was an amazing experience. We were so grateful to be there and really welcome in such an extraordinary moment. And if you did not catch that last night's Saturday Night Alive, you can probably catch the broadcast, a replay somewhere, and I encourage you to check it out. Marianne Williamson was there with us. It was really quite a beautiful
beautiful
moment.
Musicians and other contributors that are all supporting supporting the upliftment of this planet at this time.
Yeah, and to Deborah Giusti, we love you. It's been too long since we've seen you in person, but thank you for that blessing. And also to Scott Cadamus, who did an amazing job producing the show. We know how hard that is, and so we're tip of the hat. And thank you so kindly. And for all of you that were there last night, thanks. Thank you for joining us. So, Shri, I want to dive into this very moment, and what better way? Now, remember, the 2021 UPLEVEL calendar, let's start with that. So what I want to do is let's first go to, I want to show this year's code. So right here, Shri, I want to go right there first to the 2021 calendar code. Okay. This is in your calendar when you get it. You can get the calendar. It's available now, shriandkira.com. It's right there on the homepage. You can't miss it. Get your calendar. But I wanted you to see, this is right from your calendar. It's inside of it. This year, there are some things that shifted a little bit in the way that we read the calendar. And I wanted you to see this before I pop up the January calendar. So, in addition to the energy codes for each month, as you see below, and those are the ones that have like little pictograms. So those are the energy codes for each month. This year, on every single month, we have notated all solar and lunar eclipses are going to be very important, along with what the actual ascension energy flow for the month is. In other words, is it awareness, is it experience, or is it choice? Because this is going to be really vital in the type of year that we're in right now. Plus, we've added the monthly ascended numerology code for the specific month. Now, the one thing I really want to bring to your attention here is down there in the bottom right, Venus retrograde.
Yes.
Because we are being deeply affected by what will be next year's energy. The Venus retrograde does not happen until December 19 this year. However, it is already pulling. It's like a pull that is going to crescendo that day and then propel the 2022. And this Venus retrograde overlay really explains how the concentric time has been coming in. And then the last thing I want to show you before we go outside of this slide is that you'll notice the peak ascension up level. There are 4 in 2021. Now, what I find so powerful about that is that's the perfect balance, the 4. So what that means is that as we jump in to these peak up levels, it's like, imagine before you right now, there's a beautiful valley and the valley is gorgeous. And in order to cross from this end of the valley to that end of the valley, there's 4 giant pillars. And they're beautiful. Exactly. They're beautiful and they're bountiful and they're illuminated and there's plenty of beings there. But you've got to literally hop from each one. And right now, take in a breath. I know you're feeling it. Here we are in this year of the 5, which is all about the truth. And we're getting ready to take the first leap. And many of you are already feeling it. You already know that pillar's there and you've already gotten it, that you're like, oh my God, I got to really do this. That is exactly right. You've got to really do this. And Shri, I want to share the 5, let's try AN. I think that might be the one that yes, nope, wrong one. All right, we'll stay here right now though. Okay, so we're going to go out of order a little bit. So here's the other thing, since we were just talking about the 5. This year is the 5 plus the infinite. 2021. You see that 20201? So 2 plus 2 plus 1 is the 5, but what do you do with that 0? Well, in traditional numerology, you throw it away, which is why it's so insane. It is the infinite energy. It is that presence of the absolute imperishable you. This is why the 0 was so revolutionary. This is why the 0 is so profound, and we are coming out of a double infinite year. So what's so incredible is that this 2021 5 plus the infinite is all about mastery truth. Not just truth. I'm talking about that eternal truth that's going to really squeeze your ego. It's about revelation and wholeness through remembrance.
Yes, the energy of the 5 plus the infinite is the eternal life that is pulsing through us all, coming forward with ever greater clarity and presence, clearly calling us to notice and pay attention to the robust and unique cycle ahead. 2021 is filled with truth.
Breathe.
Let that in.
Right?
The truth is being revealed.
Right. We've known this. I did this astrology 2 months ago, or this numerology 2 months ago.
The availability to claim ever greater mastery through wholeness the entire year will bombard the 5th chakra and thereby our truth.
And it's going to bring you to this all the time. What is true and what is truth? What is true and what is truth? I want you to really breathe that in, because that's really the heart of it.
Yeah.
We are at the moment where the heart of humanity is saying, I'm here, what do you want me to do? Well, I know for Shri and I, for us, that's filling it with the Ave Sa breath. What is Ave Sa? Ave is the heartbeat. Ave. Many of you know the Ave Maria, or you've heard of it in that context, right? It's Ave. It's that complete adoration, that hail, that recognition, that surrender. It is the sincerity that is the foundation of miracle presence. That's the Ave. Ave. And so what is the Sa? It's the infinite unknown, because it is ever expanding. It is the release of that which would hold you back. It is the opening to that which inspires continually. It is the Ave as the heartbeat, as the infinite availability. And that's the moment we're in right now. What is the heart of humanity being filled with? Where is that heart energy right now? And is it empowered? Because the rise in the true deception of spiritualized ego that believes it is carrying love has never been stronger. Right. And it is more opinionated, more judgmental, more reactive, more indecisive, more doubt-filled. I mean, all the little things that would show you, yeah, that's obviously why it's not stable. But it's strong, and it's also roaring. Remember, we're in the time of enlightenment. That's not mutually exclusive to your level of consciousness. You know, that's not how it works. How it works is that we are in a zone of allness that we have co-created, that we chose to be in this experience right here, right now. This is how it's manifesting. And that through that, we know that all is being enlightened. And never has it been more incredibly important. And this was the show that Tree and I are tonight. Go watch Explore the Mysteries, because never has it been more important to accept and activate the crystalline DNA that anchors your ascended heart, thereby holding your enlightened presence. Yeah. Everything right now is conspiring to that. And just like in 2020, remember every month in 2020 with the Ascended Numerology, we had the 4 plus the double infinite. So what did that mean? It meant every single month in 2020, you were going to get a pound at your root chakra that was then going to ricochet out farther than it's ever gone before. And that happened 12 times in a row. This year, it's hitting here. It's your throat. And so if you are sincerely saying yes to you, your voice will be heard with clarity and the incredible receptivity that type of sincerity carries, right? Because that's where the love comes in. That's where the love comes in. That really empowered love. And in Avesa, the way that we often share it is that it's like a propeller.
Mm-hmm. And so I want to just offer this. Your heart chakra has a momentum for expansion and a momentum for lift. And this is the first chakra in our energetic body.
In our ascended.
That when we are aligned with it, it begins to spin as a figure 8 intersecting, 2 figure 8s. There is the balanced energy that says, ah.
Or Ave.
Ave. And then there is the vertical balanced energy that says, Sa. Or I surrender or reach to the divine.
Ave Sa is the infinite heartbeat, the igniter of the ascended presence.
And there is a pulse there, Ave Sa.
Ave, sa. Think of it as a heartbeat,
sa.
right? Instead of blub, 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 Ave, 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 and then Ave, sa. And you can start working with the heartbeat.
So one of the things that's happening for us all this year as this cosmic energy is igniting our throat chakras.
Oh, yes.
What is it really doing? It's calling a harmony. It's calling you to harmonize what we refer to as the truth chakra. So your throat chakra isn't just a number. It's not just the fifth chakra of the traditional system.
Right.
It actually carries the energy of truth, meaning what do you know to be true and what are you offering out into the world as truth? Because if you know one thing but you say something else, then you are selling spin.
Right?
You have an ulterior motive. If you know something and you are congruent in your expressions, then you are, quote, offering authenticity. I'm
Now,
offering congruence.
And that's the third part of that miracle formula. So we have that sincerity plus love plus presence.
Presence comes when love ignites the authentic energy so that it can be seen and serve. Service comes naturally when we reside in our authenticity. It's not a chore. It's just a natural expression.
Because it's who you are. And I want to share with you another aspect here. This is also from the calendar, which again is now available at ShriandKira.com. 2021 is the 5, but it's the 5 plus the infinite. So thereby it is coming in as the 5-pointed star of eternal life. It's actually amplifying, which we did not think was possible.
Yeah.
It's actually amplifying the illuminated new moon energy of 2021. And remember, we're already in it. This right now, the 13th, we're going to be talking about it, is the first massive peak up level of the year, and we just started into it. And so here it is. The Blue Starborn says it so beautifully. Within the energy of the true 5-pointed star, there is no separation, no judgment. There is only the unification, the understanding, and your cosmic upliftment. And this practice is in your calendar. What's unique to this slide that's not in your calendar is that I overlaid the living Ankh, because that is what this is about. Look at your throat. In order to fully ignite the living Ankh, you literally have the trust, the presence, where the head is back, where everything is being offered up, where the heart is fully opened, and you ignite the portal of eternal life. This is the living Ankh. This is that split bottom Ankh. This is not the densified Ankh when it came into this planet and then went oomph. This is the Ankh of the eternal life energy that is yours to claim. And right there, I put the link. Go to ShriandKira.com, go to that Yoga Self-Ascension tab, and click on the living Ankh. Learn it, do it every single day. That is what will sustain you throughout this month. Because this month, there's going to be all of this energy. And unless you are really clear on who you are, unless you're really ready to thrive in the who of you, then that what is true and where is truth and the small voice that doesn't want to expand will tell you what is and is not true very quickly is going to become very self-sabotaging and very robust. And so you ready? Should we show them the calendar?
Yeah.
All right.
Look at
So
January.
here we are, guys. Here is January. And remember, of course, when you get the calendar, you're going to have all of these at once. So this time, this year, there are some things that are different, meaning this month actually has the quote at the top. So let's bring our hands to our heart. And Shri, are you able to read that? If not, I can. I can read it just fine.
Yeah, go for it. No, I can't
All
read
right.
it.
Breathe in. Bring your hands to your heart. This is from the Divine Directors. Imagine a world where with every breath and in every moment, you only saw each being as the highest potential of their being for this lifetime.
Let's take a breath and engage that more fully. Be present to it. Imagine each being as the highest potential of their being for this lifetime.
And I really invite you to breathe that in. And we will get this ensoulment back up on our website, a video of it, because this ensoulment has been guiding us for a while. However, it ignited at the new year. This full ensoulment, this is the first line, is this year. And after we go through this, the January energy, we're going to then talk about this concentric dimensionality. And this is what you're seeing here in January. Now, remember, January, the ascended consciousness energy of January is all about experience. And boy, are we getting it. This is like a mini moment that is showing you future potentialities. And what's so really beautiful is that the ascended numerological monthly code of just January is perfect balance. It's the 4, and the first of the 4 peak up levels is this month. 3 days from now, we have already begun. Now, as you take in a breath and relax it out, I also invite you to gaze at the graphic. Every one of the graphics in this calendar this year are 100% a reflection of the additional energies that have been offered through the full predictions of 2021. Those are now posted at our website. If you go to ShriandKira.com, right on the homepage, you'll see right there, it's the most recent posted article. January is the month of the Nagas. And so this is why you'll see that the representation of the spiral time utilizes this beautiful Naga presence. Now, you'll see the way that the spiral is moving, and you'll also notice that we really started bridging this. You see that Friday the 1st, go back those 4 days. That last week in December, we were already jumping into that train. And now here we are, and you see now that we're spiraling very quickly. So last week, as you reflect upon last week, you literally went from the outer to the inner, back to the outer, and back again. You dove all the way in, and you came all the way out, and you started really understanding and experiencing what the spiral time adaptation is going to feel like for you, especially if you're resisting it. And then you notice there's the melting time, because that's what's happening right now is we're being invited to start melting time. And you notice that the time is melting around these books, because what we're being reminded of is that all of the wisdom, all of the knowledge is ours to command. If we allow ourselves to melt the singular paradigm of belief systems that even believes that we are helpless to shift what's happening here. And that is a massive undertaking of awakening. And that's why you're here connecting to the show, because this is a collective effort. This cannot be a solo effort. This is about all of us standing up and saying, yes, together we are better. Yes, I can laugh at the ego that would try to stop this, because we are truly able to live through this. And I want you to pay attention to what's happening this week right now. So here we are in the 10th right now. We are in that, what I want to call, beautiful space of being able to really get a big picture view. And you see how rapidly this week we're slamming into the core. And on the 13th, we have a couple things that are happening. We have the first illuminated new moon. But not only is it the first illuminated new moon, it is the first peak up level. So this is that eternal life energy that we were just showing you. And then the very next day, on the 14th, we enter a Mercury retrograde pre-phase. It's just like ready, set, go 2021.
Yes.
And that is going to give us this moment. You look at 2 weeks later, you have that full moon energy that's going to basically be straddling between these two events. And by January 30th, when that Mercury retrograde begins, remember that February is a choice energy month. So you can see that the ascended numerology for the year is showing us very clearly that this is a moment to be very clearly, the word I want to use is aligned with and to be aware of. And the key here, Shri, I don't know if we want to go into the energy flows right now, or do you want to share more about the calendar?
I think it's important to pause for a moment and kind of take in what's been shared. Because so often we present this information and energy, but the pace at which we're doing it, it invites
can be challenging.
It invites you to go back and say, no, wait a minute, how do I really take that into my personal piece of this fabric that we share? And the one thing I want to offer to you is you're already doing it.
Yes.
And so let's start right there. Your heart knows the way. Your mind is still catching up. And that's kind of where I wanted to pause for a moment, because truth is not a concept. The mind may recognize truth and be able to talk about truth and compare it to other perspectives, but the truth is first recognized through its energy and what it is. And the heart is more adept at recognizing truth than the mind. Because the mind is I won't say the word victim, but it feels a little that way. The mind is subject to the vibrational level you're holding. So if your vibrational level is high, the mind has a more elegant capacity to discern things. If your vibrational level is still struggling with a lot of fear and density polarity, then the mind is very quick to grab onto things that support the fear-based reality. So the heart may say, this doesn't feel right, but the mind will argue and say, oh no, this is right, and these 4 people all agree with me. And then we give our power to the mind. So the reason I bring this up is it's going on around our world. It's very visible in the news, is how many people have given their power to concepts that somehow provide them with an emotional feeling of belonging versus listening to their heart and lifting through the concepts and belief systems into just that pure presence that knows what is healthy, wholesome, and what is not. And that's kind of the starting point for the ascended state. Remember that the 5th dimensional energy that so many people are talking about, welcome to the age of Aquarius and the 5th dimensional energy. The number one characteristic of that vibrational level is compassion.
Number one.
So if you had to say, how do you know if you're holding 5th dimensional energy? Well, are you open to holding compassion for all beings? And from that place, we gather clarity. And from that place, we can begin to recognize more fully what Kira Ra is bringing through on these calendars. And these up-level opportunities will take us even further.
Wow.
And this is the piece. Every one of you, there's no exceptions. Every one of you can bring a hand to your heart.
Yes.
Can breathe into your heart.
Yes.
And kind of remind yourself, the mind is my servant. I am a being of love and light.
Yes.
The mind is my servant. Now, from that space, what do you see and what do you choose?
And really breathe that in. And Shri, it brings me, we've been getting so many amazing emails, and there's a couple that we wanted to bring to this conversation today, but this one is so appropriate for everything you're sharing right now. And remember, if you want to write us, send us an email to guest@ShriandKiraRadio.com. So this one comes from someone that a lot of you know. I'm assuming he's going to let me, I'm not going to say his name, but I'm just going to say that a lot of you know him, but he's a beautiful soul, one of our beautiful Indian listeners over in India. And so I want to just read this. May I read this, Shri?
Please,
because I'm going to read it in its entirety.
We
and I want you
love
to
the
all bring
sharings.
your hand to your heart, because this is such a profound sharing. It brought tears to my eyes, and it's everything you just said. So here's the subject line. Phoenix as the lion dragon that is coming out of the woods, and that's all capitalized. All right. Namaste, Shivoham, dearest Master Lady Kira Ra and wisdom teacher Sri Ram Ka. I greet you with a bow of respect and gratitude. It is my honor to be able to connect with you right now. Please allow me open with thanks for your steadfast commitment, focused awareness, and complete trust. It is only because you are committed to your path that I am here today. My journey thus far has been anything but easy, but I am eternally grateful to have you as my mentors and guides. In many ways, I regard you both as my parents. As always, I turn to you today for guidance and reassurance as I trust the path that unfolds before me. I first connected with you way back in 2016 when I was 14 years old. It is now that I realize that my true journey has yet to begin and has, in a way, already begun. Kira, you had shared with me that I was in a 5-year cycle from 14 to 19 when everything would rebalance. I will be turning 19 on the 13th of January, 2021. I know this is a big moment for me, and I'm really excited to be sharing it with you and this community. Last year was fascinating, to say the least. A lot came up. And yet here I am, like a phoenix rising from the ashes. 2 particular things, among many, have defined the last few months from me. A, and just bring your hand to your heart. I finally stopped denying that I was sexually abused, and I took steps to forgive and move on. And B, I made the decision to come out to some of my friends as gay. Both of these things felt really important to do if I were to claim my authenticity. And it was interesting how the victim energy tried to take charge of the narrative, but I was able to move through that with time, and hopefully I'm done with that for good. And he's got happy faces and cryy faces. Today I seek guidance for what is before me. I want to know, how can I serve the highest and fulfill my purpose and mission, which is yet to entirely reveal itself? I would like to request the ever-expanding gift of a mini soul reading and call upon my guides. It would also be wonderful if I could get yours and Shree's insights on why my dandruff has become really aggravated over the last year, and what I could do to trust and love my body more through this process of release. One last question. I think I already know how you'll answer this, but I'm being called to move from my current home, which is in Kashmir, India, to somewhere else, most likely New Zealand. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Since we are not known by our words, but by our energy, I hope that you see the gratitude and the love I have for you and our community in my heart. I sincerely pray that we get to meet in form soon. It would only be fitting for me to close by saying, I am here, I am ready, I am open, guide me. Namaste, thank you, love, our beloved one. And so I want you to really, so much happened in this email when it was forwarded to me. And the first thing is, and I know that all of you are feeling it too, this is what sincerity, love, and presence calls forward. It calls forward miracles as the law of instantaneous manifestation. And having this letter get to Shree and I, reading it on the air today, that's the first piece of that for this beautiful beloved one.
Well, and I just really want to acknowledge the clarity
courage
that is here. Because the letter opens with the clarity of I'm seeking reassurance and guidance.
Exactly.
That's perfect.
It is.
And every one of us, no matter who you are, we all, from time to time, really need reassurance and some clarity, some guidance around options, around perspectives on how to move forward. And so I really love that nugget right there. And then, of course, the sincere sharing, to be able to say, I feel safe enough in who I am to share my experiences with you.
In Kashmir, India. And so the first thing I do want to share with you, my love, is when you were talking about moving, all I heard was yes, move, but you need to do it soon. Like, that can't be a dream. If you're really going to do it, it needs to happen like as soon as it can. And they're saying, if not, there in the future, I'm just hearing in the future, there may be more problems. So that if you are looking to make that, if you are sincerely feeling that draw, then your guides are saying that this would be a good time to do that. However, all's not lost if you don't. It's just that it may be different how you arrive there. Shree, do you want to talk about what's going on with the dandruff?
Sure.
Because if not, and then we'll close with a little mini soul reading, because what you're talking about, so many are going through right now. And what you're modeling is that phoenix as the lion dragon coming out of the woods. I mean, your subject line was right there. We are at the time of enlightenment, and the courage that you are modeling, I am right here with my arms linked around you on the front line. I am so proud of you, you beautiful being, that you're saying yes to you. The key is now to become the master. We start honing our spiritual discernment. And that's when life starts bringing lots of different experiences around us. And this is part of it right here, your crown chakra.
Yeah, absolutely. There's an interesting overlay between the spiritual energy and the physical energy.
Right.
And so the first thing, just contextually, is the skin is an organ of elimination. And the largest one, matter of fact. So we have the classical way we eliminate, but the skin goes to work to discharge the energies that no longer serve us. So with that in mind, then consider the location of this discharge.
Crown.
The sloughing off. and it's being influenced directly by your 6th chakra and your 7th chakra.
And star consciousness.
Yeah, that's all right there. And so the 6th chakra has a lot to do with letting go of the past to be able to see clearly what is before you and who it is wholesome to be with. That's a big part of what that chakra offers us, is the recognition between, the distinction between that which is of density and that which is of spiritual harmony.
Right.
The 7th chakra, of course, is about connecting to your divine wisdom. So take a look at what's happening in your life is you're being guided with more clarity. You're seeing with more clarity. And that which would obstruct or your ability to expand even more is sloughing away. So I want you to look at the dandruff issue a little bit as like, hey, that's a signal that I'm on track.
Actually, that's literally what that's exactly what I'm seeing is that it's like all the things that would have held you back, all the little, I'm going to call them the dusty thoughts,
let them
right?
flake away.
All those little dusty thoughts, and you talked about the timing and how it's been growing. It makes complete sense that it's been growing because it's like you are outgassing. Your mastery presence is coming in. And when our mastery presence comes in, our bodies shift. Things start happening to our bodies. And this is that moment of true sacred union, right? You asked about how you can love yourself more. All I'm seeing around you are all these beautiful deities. I mean, you carry them all, my love. You are really the rainbow of them all. I also see you dancing. If you're not dancing, you need to be dancing more. Yeah. And so what's so beautiful is that they're all around you saying the same thing. Now is the time for you to arise. And as you arise, your mastery filter will clear. And you will discover before you the pathways while calling forward the gift of the depth of who you are. They're saying that as you are revealing to yourself, the world is revealing to you. And that this is the moment that you have prayed for and your prayers have been heard. So I invite you, because as I share that with you, I got like almost what felt like a very deep, deep, deep pressure right here in the center of the heart. That's your ascended heart. So your ascended heart is saying, I am ready to anchor. And your body is saying, love me more. Love me more. And the whole time Shri was sharing with you, I just kept doing this. It's like taking all your fingers and just going up and just really holding, and any of us that really holding the crown chakra and saying, I am here. I am ready. I am open. Guide me, and releasing that and really receiving that. And paying attention to it. Yeah. They're saying that love is following you, and now it's time for you to command it. And so it is.
Much love to you.
Thank you, my angel. And Shri, I just want to take in a moment and breathe.
Yeah.
Can we all just do that? Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that. It was a lovely connection and a wonderful, wonderful sharing representing the truth that so many are experiencing. And I have a little more I want to share, but first, let's breathe together.
Yeah. Ave Sa, right? Sa. And a smile.
Yes.
It's true. It's true.
One of the things that this beautiful community member brings forward in my recognition is the need for clear, proactive forgiveness. Now, I chose those words because clear means I know what I'm letting go of. Proactive means I know where I'm going and I don't need to carry this with me.
There it is.
Okay? Really, forgiveness has nothing to do with the act. whatever the act was that injured you or perceived injury, they're both there usually.
Right.
Forgiveness is about calling back the energy that you invested in the hurt, in the pushing away of the memory, in the judgment that came with it. So hurt, anger, judgment, and denial and pushing away are all this big energetic wrapper that we put around unhappy experiences that are in the past. And they're just that, past. So let's get your energy back to now so that there's more clarity and more capacity for joy and for clear choices. So in this particular case, we were talking about how the organ of elimination, the skin, was finding its gateway in the areas where the greatest opportunity is presently holding. But forgiveness is about expelling, meaning I no longer, I'm releasing that which I've been carrying. It's actually a clearing act. And so the key with forgiveness work for all of us, because we all have injuries, we all have judgments.
Yes, we do.
Judgments are like a knife that slices energy and gives it a definition that then can go on eternally unless you dissolve it.
And remember that judgment is what stops you from lifting beyond fifth dimensional experience. You won't even be able to anchor in the fifth with judgment because you can't sustain it that long. So, Sri, everything you're talking about brings us to concentric time. But did you want to share something else?
Just one more thing. So you say, well, how do I do this? I just want to guide you. Head over to SriandKira.com homepage. Down on the lower left, there's a box with some text, and you can download the forgiveness practice.
Do it. Download it. Get it.
The key is whenever we are approaching a practice, bring your sincerity, love, and presence into bearing before beginning the practice. That is, breathe. I am here. I'm open. I'm here. I'm ready. I'm open. Guide me. Be present. Be in your heart. Then do the practice. And it will be effective and thorough. And you will gather your life force energy back. And it'll lighten up the need for other organs to work so hard.
And it's our gift to you. It is on the homepage at SriandKira.com, which has just been updated with all the things that have just been posted. So you'll scroll a little bit and you'll see it right there. So what a perfect moment to dive into the energy flows, because this is exactly what you're feeling. Now, again, this is also inside of the 2021 calendar that while you're visiting SriandKira.com, you want to get. So let me explain what's happening here. If you gaze up at that top experience, that is the energy flow. It is a torus field, and it is what has called forward the concentric dimensionality. So what's so phenomenal is that we spent all of our up level of 2020 adjusting to multidimensional experience. Remember, it was about timeline adaptation through visionary transformation. That was one of those dragonfly energies. And it was also about profound shift. And it was also about more people awakening than ever before, all of which has happened. But in this mirror energy of 2021, for the first time, when you gaze at that diagram up there, what you're going to see is that there are 12 concentric, independent, yet related cycles. They are concentrically affecting the energy for the entire year. So what you're seeing here is like a cross-section of the torus, and that every one of them is a spine, meaning it's one of those things that holds open that. And what's happening is that this is inside of the ignited discus of Vishnu from the 8-8 Lion's Gate of 2020. That was like the date that ignited where we are now, that made it possible for this to even happen. And this is why that rising feminine balance is so important. And in the center of this torsion field is your torus field, if you gaze down at the bottom left. But this torus field is going to demand the unified presence of the masculine feminine balance within to be able to sustain the power of this spiral time concentric dimensionality squeeze on the throat. This is why for many people it feels like there's a literal noose around their neck right now. And so in the center is that 0 point ignition of creation. So before I talk about the torus field down the bottom, I want you to gaze at those 3 white arrows. So that center arrow is the ignition. It's showing you that this entire torus field is suspended, created, and generated by your open, ignited, rising phoenix energy. That is your own. You are literally igniting your own field inside of another field inside of another field. And that is why, what is the truth? Where is the truth can be so easily distorted, because you're literally in a moment where if you are awake to see it all, it's like, get the popcorn and let's chat. It's like the best thing you've ever experienced. It's going to blow your mind. And if you are afraid of it or you're not aware of it, you can very easily be crushed by it. And this is extraordinarily incredible to look at. So you see the left arrow, January. If you follow, that's the big cycle there. You see that it's already part of, everything is already unified. This has all already happened. But to reduce it down to our linear experience in everything that has already happened, to lower the frequency, as Einstein would tell us. Oh, goodness gracious. What did I do, Sri?
You clicked on something.
I clicked on something. I'll let Sri. Welcome to our green screen. Hi, guys. So what's important to pay attention here is that I think I got rid of the whole graphic, didn't I? Did I do something bad on that? I bet I did.
About it.
Well, I wanted to show it to them again. The energy flow, 2021 energy flow right there. That one? Yeah. Nope, I did something. So, all right. So let's go back to the other screen. There we are. So that energy flow, I hope you were seeing it. We have, not only do we have the incredible concentric months, and you saw that it was pointing to January and February. Every set of months this year will be modeling January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, and they're going to be a squeeze, yet they are a flow. There it is. My love is so amazing. There it is. Okay. So you will see right here again, if you look at January on the left and February on the right, these two are actually happening already together. And everything's going to keep imploding and coming in that way. And if you see those three, you see the green circles, look, and you see between May and June, you see the first one there, the green, and then around September, October, and then around November, December, there's one inside of there. Those are, okay, we're complete with this one now. Those are the harmonic frequencies that are going to be the amplifiers of the energy flow of this year. So imagine that if you're having a hard time right now with your truth, or you know people that are, it's just going to be in your face more and more and more, which is why the appearance of increased and enhanced polarity is going to be so big.
Yes.
And it's going to be big. It's going to be big because there's just no way it can't be. Everything is showing us that. I mean, everything is showing us that. And I want to pop right back to the January calendar because the 13th is this week.
Yep.
And I want you to look at that. And it's in the shadow of Mercury already going, hey, get ready. Because the mirror Mercury retrogrades in January are going to be ignition cycles. But this ignition cycle is actually being affected by the 13th, the power of the 13, and the illuminated new moon peak up level. And we started talking about that a few weeks ago. And the way I've been describing it is it's just like a boom, like just a boom. Like it's like a big, it's either going to be like a big in your world, like everything is being celebrated. All the fireworks are going off. It can be that kind of day. It could be a massive ignition, but it's going to ignite everything. So the key is, where are you igniting and where are you paying attention? Yeah. The week ahead is going to peak up level everything. And I mean everything.
So one way to understand the power of everything. is you're probably going to witness some increased or continued
everything
excitement and polarity and some activities that you're going to see in the news.
But I don't want to go there. And the reason I don't want to go there is I don't want that to distract you. I don't want it to even get into your consciousness.
But the key is if you notice that, to come back to the heart and lift into your presence.
Yeah.
Because remember, there are strata that are responding. Your role, your job, our job is to hold the ascended energy of peace, love, and joy, and to be in the compassionate radiance of that.
To be creating. I don't want to get off track. It's about creating. Right now, everything is creating. Everything is creating. So if you are not actively engaged with what you are creating, don't worry about it. The universe has got you covered. So the question is, where is your focus?
Yes.
Where is your passion? You know, Sri and I are very, very blessed that we offer mentoring, you know, and I always am so honored when we offer mentoring. We mentor everybody from people who are navigating personal times in their lives to CEOs of major corporations. And the blessing is that when we get to that moment of our own divine empowerment, when we get to that moment of saying yes to who we are, then our presence makes a difference for the rest. But what we notice in the mentoring is that most of the people that we have connected with, not all, but a lot of them are really wanting to do the work, but then they don't. So we may make agreements, and then 2 weeks later, those agreements haven't happened. And there's always a good reason. So the question is, where is your steadfast commitment, focused awareness, and complete trust?
Right.
Give you an example, and just as an example, and it's not meant to be anything other than an example, right? But yesterday was one of those days where our day started at 6 a.m. and literally did not stop until midnight last night. Literally. When we had 2 food breaks that were 30 minutes each. And I share it only because we were vitally moving through the day. It was productive. A lot got done. There's a lot that needs to get done. That's quantum time capacity. Quantum time capacity is when the inspiration is coming through you so profoundly that it absolutely sustains the field. And when we let ourselves disconnect from that, when we let the distractions come in, when our ego says, I really want to know what's going on over here. Well, what's going on over there, does that really serve your highest? Because the key is that's what you're creating right now. We are all in a massive creation cycle, and it's expansive and it's outrageous. And remember, of course, things are looking strange and wild and, oh my God, I never thought I'd see that in my lifetime or any lifetime, right? Mm-hmm. The reason that's happening is because we're beyond where we've ever been before. We are all writing the book together. So how do you want this thing to be written? That's the power we are all wielding. But there's many out there that have no idea how to wield it, or what honestly the 4th dimension loves the best is those that are just awake enough to be easily manipulated to wield it in ways that they don't even know what they're doing, and that their ego will help them stay stuck with. All of it perfect for this moment, because all of it needs to be out there. How can we really expand if all is not in front of us? And for those of us whose journey it is in this lifetime to be the torchbearers of consciousness, then this is our moment to be the torchbearers of consciousness. Yeah. Because the amount of density distraction in harmony with how we have chosen to be in this moment is right now in the power of the 13, literally. Why is ascended numerology back on the planet? Why did Helena Blavatsky appear before me and offer Sri and I the codes of Avesa? Why have the Ascended Masters been around us now for over 20 years? Why is all this happening right now? Breathe that in. It's right now. The Ascended numerology, the ancient numerology of the Magi and the Esina and the Essene, is the system of 13 digits. It is the infinite plus 12. And when all of the things of dogma came in, things got truncated because God forbid you knew your eternal nature. God forbid you knew how powerful you were. And so to illuminate the presence of the 13 is profound. And it is not an accident that in this particular timeline, what is going to be one of the most profound peak up levels of the year, it is the igniter. It's that first jump onto that first post we talked about earlier today. It's on the 13th. Mm-hmm. It is a call to wholeness. It is a call to truth, and it is a call to the action of your empowered mastery presence to stand and say, I am, I remember, to live your life at the very top. I'm just going to put it up one more time so that we can all read it because it's that important. And then please go get your own calendar. To imagine a world where with every breath and in every moment, you only saw each being as the highest potential of their being for this lifetime. Taking a breath. You know, it's as simple as if you want to be awake, be with those who are awake. Yeah. And then see everyone as awake. Because when we are connecting with our star consciousness instead of our brain, our presence with others creates the harmony of consciousness. And in the harmony of consciousness, we know the truth. I'll give you a quick example of that. A few weeks ago, I was talking with someone who mentioned somebody else. And I was like, wait a minute, I got to meet this person. I know this person. Just hearing their name activated something inside of me. And when this person and I finally got together, and as we just did a few days ago, it was already our consciousness had already come together. The agreements were already there. We were just pulling them out of our consciousness and bringing them into form because lo and behold, he had had the same experience. This is the moment we're in, where the invitations come out, the connections come in, spiral time. Spiral time. Pay attention to what's circling around you and what is circling back and what is circling out. Spiral time is now.
One of the things about spiral time, you know, we used to joke sometimes about how, there it is again, whatever,
right,
you know, there's that pattern again. What's different now is the level of empowerment that you carry.
Exactly.
The consciousness that has been activated within you. As things spiral, you have an opportunity to witness that quote from the divine directors, meaning to lend the energy so that this time around it is of the highest. That whatever is before you is evolved into a greater, more beautiful expression. It's not about, I'm having to do that again. It's, I'm getting to do this in my highest potential, in the highest way.
Right? It's that moment where everything becomes the smile, right? Because you're in your highest service. You see the greater picture.
You know, and one of the things that's come around for Kira and I is the recognition that this year of mastery choice is also about calling forward your capacity to be a healing presence.
Yes.
And your capacity to anchor in your enlightened mastery.
Right?
And so one of the things that became very clear for us is it was time to bring this consciousness into the Avesa balancing modality. The Avesa healing is the incredible way for anybody to experience the ascended state, to integrate that energy into the now.
Right.
And when this first came forward through the grace and blessing of Madame Blavatsky some years ago, it was indeed
Tosa Ranch, our temple in Tosa Ranch. Yeah. I was in a 2-day retreat. That's when she showed up.
It was an incredible gift.
Yeah.
From the level of consciousness and the expansiveness that is now, it's not just a gift, it's an essential tool for sustaining your highest vibrational capacity. To see yourself at the highest means I am residing in the ascended state. And that the Avesa balancing opens the gateway to that ascended state so that it may be integrated into your tissue memory. And it may cause the mind to kind of get a little more humble and say, well, that's who I am.
I think it's been about 5 years since we've taught this live, and we were very clear at that time that our teachers were to continue the work and that they were the ones to keep it going. And since the new year, it has been very clear that because of the energy frequencies and because of the crystalline energies that have opened up, that it is the time for Shri and I, and we are going to be teaching you live 2 Saturdays in February. Get in there now. You'll get the current home study and all of that, plus Shri and I really calling in, training you in person, live interaction from our Atlantean healing chamber. And that's just the beginning. We have put out an entire year that will be up on our website by next week's show that will absolutely say yes to those that are ready. Because this is the year, and we're putting out the challenge in front of you right now. What are you willing to do to stay focused this year? Because this year is going to do everything it can to claim as many out of consciousness as possible. Yep. And for those of us that are awake, for those of us that are claiming higher consciousness, and Sri and I have been very, very slowly, the way I described it on the air last night was we've been on a 10-year walkabout, we're very, very slowly kind of dipping back into the mainstream. And there's still a lot of reasons why we stayed out. And the gift is that, and what's so beautiful is to see it all from the way we are able to experience it now. And to really pay attention to it, and to know that the voice of higher frequency consciousness is the moment at hand. We are awake, we are aware, we are having conscious experience, we are making conscious choices, and thereby we are seeing a conscious positive momentum and shift.
Yes.
And our ability to hold our mastery and to really stay in the ascended presence where you can actually giggle at what you see. I'm not saying it approves it. I'm not saying anything's right with it. I'm just saying where you can at least be so acutely aware of what it is that your consciousness really births honest solutions. You want to help solve it? Open your consciousness.
Yes.
Now, I will share one thing with you. That's not the easiest path to take, but it absolutely will get you there. Absolutely. So if you want to expand your consciousness, number one, open up your Avesa heart. At the very least, learn the Avesa balancing protocol so that you understand how to not only offer this energy to yourself, you can offer it to others. You can be certified as a practitioner. You can even become a teacher later on if you want. So give yourself that gift, learn about it. And if you've ever taken the Avesa balancing program, you can join us at 50% off. It's, you can come really get the updated experience and the energy and the attunements that we're going to be offering. So we're very excited to do
Absolutely.
that. And the year ahead is amazing.
This year is yours to claim.
This year is your year. Yeah, it really is.
This year is an opportunity to really anchor that ascended presence that you are, and to be of the highest possible service to consciousness, to humanity, and to Gaia.
And because so many of you have asked us, and because each of you has your own unique experience before you, we've put together 3 different journeys for the year. And if you give yourself that gift, and it all begins tomorrow night. Now, tomorrow night, oh my gosh, drum roll, right? Woo-hoo!
Magical Monday!
Monday magic is back. And once again, how we left, when we completed in December, we were all mind blown. Get ready for it to continue. Oh my goodness gracious. Lesson 1, living that ascended life is all about releasing the dogma to claim the divine mastery. And when we get together tomorrow night, I have not read the whole thing. I only touched into the first page. Already mind blown. We ignite tomorrow. Join us for Monday Magic.
Yes.
If you're serious, if you want to really break free, why not join with amazing community where Sri and I are able to interact with you live, take your questions, and really dive. This is a big year. This year matters unlike any year has ever mattered. What are you willing to do? What are you willing to do? And Sri, I want to say that one of the things I know that's happening here at Tosa Blue Mountain is that everyone who's living here is flourishing. Mm-hmm. It is incredible. And Masha Sigurdsson, who's here, who's really championing the Violet Dome, where she has really set up an incredible experience down there. Reverse aging right in front of our eyes. Yeah. Complete, she's been here enough months now. And Bria, of course, you were going to see another amazing film coming in from her. And of course, Jeanette is stepping up in the kitchen and just finding her way. And there's lots of joy and love down there. So a lot happening here with our on-site community. More on-site community members getting ready to join us in the next 60 days, I believe, maybe sooner. So a lot going on here at Tosa. Yeah. And a big week that we had last week with everyone and some of our guests that are still here. Yeah.
We are at a time of reconnection, renewal, and resurrection. That phoenix energy that is here that has merged. I mean, you have the phoenix and the dragon energy, and all of this empowered alignment is yours to harness but not control. Harness means I put it on, I take it in. To control is an act of the mind which is not required. We're here to evolve and to do it. So I tell you what, we have a film to share. Now, this film is really powerful because last week we were in Chobshi
on the morning of the 7th, which was the day after the eruption in the United States. And so we found that to be very profound. You're very, very blessed because this film also contains the toning that was happening there. And so really give yourself the gift. This is a beautiful film. And thank you, Bria, for putting it and compiling it. We're very grateful. So we'll see it in just a few moments. And remember, you want to call in right now, 888-627, get in that queue, 888-627-6008, 517-208-1500. We get back. We've got a lot to share, and we're going to the phone lines.
Okie doke, here we go. We are at a beautiful time to become more fully that which we are. In the worldly vocabulary, the Essene were known teachers, healers, and actually somewhat travelers in biblical times and before. The energy of the Essene, the Essena, are the cosmic masters that took birth here as an act of service. Yeah. So it's important to remember that when one has reached a certain state of attainment, the greatest joy is to be in service to consciousness, to humanity as represented, and that service is a way of expanding the light and the love for the entire planet.
In your New Year's resolutions right now, why not embody? Really say yes to embody your divine enlightenment as your enlightenment. Your enlightenment is the moment where the master oversoul of that which animates this body that has patiently, lovingly just been hanging out, waiting for you to get done having this fun, because that's why you're here. That's actually the priority, is to come into the conscious awareness of why you are here. That is the moment of the mastery of the yoga of self-ascension. When you come into that conscious awareness as to why you are here, and the master oversoul says, oh, are we going to do this dance? And comes right in. And that's the ultimate sacred union of the soul, when we are able to fully embody the master because we have the courage to say yes to it, because we have said yes to who we truly are. Namaste, beloved one, and welcome to a very special place here at Tosa Blue Mountain. This is the beautiful Master Atlantean Healing Chamber. It is a room that Shri and I dreamed about. It was the room that when I first walked through the door, the termite-ridden door, the very first time, where it honestly felt that there was a bolt of violet lightning that came out of the wall. It was like I had hit a trip switch. And this is where Shri and I are going to be so blessed to be meeting with you live for the first time, and I don't even know how many years we have been called to teach personally the evasive balancing and energy healing, and that's coming right up in February. And then if you want to go further, we are going to reveal to the world, we've been told that 2021 is the time, we will be teaching the crystalline Atlantean Healing Chamber. This is a year, 2021 is such a powerful moment, and as you connect with all the beauty and love and energy that is housed, you'll see this beautiful Shiva Shakti is in the center of our altar in the healing room, and that this is the moment. This is the moment to say yes, that our steadfast commitment, that is a picture of Shri and I from 2004, our steadfast commitment, our focused awareness, and our complete trust knows this is the year that if you are ready, then we are ready to do it with you. And so we are going to be relaunching all of our programs updated with the energy that has birthed right now. The concentric dimensionality, the spiral time, Be with us when we call forward the navigating the inner ray and a violet ray ignition unlike any other. And then we will move into the ignited golden ray, because sneak preview, next December, we will open the diamond ray during New Year. As you connect with everything that you're seeing here, please offer yourself the gift. Go to ShriandKara.com. We have so much that is coming forward right now. And take a moment, bring a hand to your heart, and receive the tones that we play as the song of your soul during the Crystalline Atlantean Healing Chamber, where we literally record your soul song so that the energy of this divine presence stays with you. We are all masters and we are all healers. We only need remember. Avesa, we know that you are ready to fly. Namaste. This is a powerful moment to be at Choshi, because this was like Custer's last stand. So I thought it was a very interesting day for us to be here at a day where humanity is fighting for its soul today. Its very soul. And here we are at Choshi, and I find it very perfect, don't you? We tell you, if there's ever been a moment for us to hold who we are.
A nuestro Padre.
So it's the history of your fathers. So you would pick up 10 to 15 rocks, and these rocks are your family's rocks. And that's what he's helping understand is this next part of the wall and all of this, those are the family histories. Those are the libraries of those families. And they would use the rocks, and because the rocks sing and breathe and speak to them, these would go on for generations.
And each rock, it would be like a touchstone to help them remember the stories.
To pass it on.
And they'd hold the rock, they would tell the story, and then they get the next rock and tell the next story.
That's why those 33 stones that have been brought to Tosa, that's why that's so important, because the rocks are their history. Feel it, you feel them? They all talk.
And namaste, beloved ones, and welcome back. I hope that you're feeling still as much as I am that extraordinary energy from that beautiful Chobshi experience. And I'm just so grateful that that was videoed and that we were all able to receive the blessing of that toning. I'm hoping you were toning as well. That beautiful, beautiful sacred area that we recently uncovered, one of the gifts that I'm praying you connected with when you saw it in the video is how undisturbed these sites are. And this is why it's been such a blessing to be there with our groups. And it was just such an honor to go there that day. And at the very beginning of that video, you saw a photograph that was taken of all of us at one of our dear friends, who's an indigenous Kanyari, has this beautiful authentic area where they made us this beautiful lunch. And it was that glorious moment of standing in the Andes and breathing and being and having the gift of being in these sites that have not been overrun by tourism, and that to be there in person and you saw when you hold these, you feel. It was like when you and I went to the crop circles. You know, Shri and I, many years ago, we were guided by Archangel Zadkiel. We, years prior to it, had under trance, I drew a crop circle, and there was a whole ensoulment that came with it that said that if the time would arise, we would actually go and this crop circle would manifest and what we would do there. And lo and behold, that happened. And when you would go into a crop circle, there was a distinct difference between a crop circle that had been there even 3 days, which the first one we went to was 3 days old and it was virtually dead, to one that is immediately, which we were blessed to do.
You know, the blessing of sacred sites around our planet is they activate your knowings. They activate the deeper aspect of you that is eternal and knows. The downside is that once they become popular, while the activation potential still is there,
it's just harder to work with. It's harder to find.
The potency of the energy has been demagnetized a bit.
It withdraws. It withdraws.
And oftentimes,
which is what happened on our land.
The sites go dormant.
Right? Our land is like, I think, example A of that, right? You know, the people we bought it from used it as a garbage dump. The people before them just raped it. They took every artifact that they could put in a truck and sold it. And so the land hid, right? And now the land is loved and it is appreciated, and thereby it is here now.
Absolutely. And so, you know, one of our honors is to be the custodians of these, not only the artifacts, but the energies, the frequencies, and the teachings that come, that arise from it.
Incredible honor, incredible honor. And as you noticed in Chobshi, they were at the observatory, right? And this is where the beautiful Astrutularia first showed up to us, who's that beautiful keeper of the cosmos. Well, I think we should be able to have excavated enough by the time we get to the March, is we have found a matching structure to what you saw there at our property line. And we are beginning, and it's going to be an interesting excavation, but we are going to try and have that opened. And we are already feeling that energy here. And that is the gift of what's happening, is that what is spiraling. It is no accident that Shri and I happen to be blessed that the mountain called us here to be the keepers of this mountain, as the Kanyari say as well, in this time. Because this is the moment where the temple had to be revealed. But there is more. How many more temples are being revealed? That's the blessing. And it begins with you revealing the temple of you. And that's the enlightenment. That is, remember, what is the choice energy? And remember, it's choice energy that is calling open the phoenix, which means the strength of that choice. So the phoenix is coming up out of the ashes as a lion dragon. Really feel that flow. You know, feel yourself. Perhaps you've been through that fire. How many of us have been through the inferno this past year? I know I've been through the inferno. How many of us have been on fire and at every level? Because everything's been on fire around you. So everything had to ignite again. What have you done with that fire? Or are you letting it rage? Because while the fire is raging, the phoenix cannot be born. Right? The phoenix is born of the ash. The phoenix is born of that which has transmuted and has had that moment where the infusion of light is from the mastery consciousness that calls forward the reassembly of the ash as the awakened phoenix, with the empowered lion as the head, the wisdom, the lion energy is the head, and the dragon as the one who is basically inviting the phoenix to guide with an extra set of wings. It's a very powerful year. It really is. And it's your truth plus the infinite, and the phoenix is the infinite. That's the incredible piece of it.
Well, you know, it brings me to a pause. It's just like...
Right, breathless.
You know, and the alchemy of this moment. Everything happens when we stand in the non-reactive, heart-centered witness of what is unfolding. Yeah. And that is the alchemy of the energies interacting with your consciousness. And, we all have journeys. We all have subjective, call it, experiences because we have positional points of view. And so each of us will find the way that these expressions, these energies are expressing in our life and what's arising for resolution, what's arising for renewal, what is being resurrected, what is healing. We all have those discussions. The key is to understand that this is a gift and you have the opportunity to be with it consciously.
Yes.
And in the consciousness comes the empowered choice.
There it is. Say that again. In the
consciousness
comes the empowered choice. I just thought that was fabulous, right?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And so speaking of choices, we the phone lines are open.
Yeah.
Give us a ring, 888-627-6008. 888-627-6008.
Okay.
Is BBS Radio.
There might be a line left. I don't know. It might be full. And so
I'm
we'll start over here, though. We'll go over to Oneness Talk Radio, and we're going to say hi to the United Kingdom. Hey, United Kingdom, namaste. Welcome.
Hello?
Hello. Hi, sweetheart.
Hello?
Hi.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi. Okay. I would say I've been more near the terror end of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Can you, and to the point of, have I lost it? Have I missed it? My mind won't stay in one place. It's just jumping from one thing to another, and what do I do? And behind that, I think, I know this is the time I'm meant to be there. And I can kind of remember the feeling, the sense of it, the light somewhere in me, knowing, and yet the whole mix-up is, please can I have some guidance?
First and foremost, I just want you, on behalf of the entire crystalline realm, we have our arms embraced around the entire United Kingdom. And all of you who are on this beautiful island, who are carrying ascended consciousness right now, the work you are doing in that part of the planet is so profound that of course it's going to shake you to your core. Yeah. And I just bow before your power and your steadfast commitment and your focused awareness and your complete trust. Yes, you can and you are doing it. You absolutely know it's the time. And I'm looking at you and they keep calling you her queenship. I'm feeling this very heavy energy on your crown. And I'm inviting you to sit just a little straighter. I am too. My back actually hurts. And I'm feeling this huge energy around you. And I've actually lifted my feet. My legs are tight together and I've lifted them up as one unit and they're suspended off the floor. My hands are up and they're saying, receive that which you have yearned for, which is the divine moment where you can relax all that seeks to take you away from your truth. Exhale with relaxation and trust that it is absolutely okay to fully remember, pull into this lifetime, stand tall, smile, and trust that it is this freedom of your consciousness that is the ultimate protection and will guide you. And as I'm sharing this with you, I'm feeling very heavy bands of energy right where my wrist hits, right here where it hits my hand, especially in my right hand as I'm holding it up. And it's like I'm doing this. They're saying balance the energy. It's like I'm watching my eyes. It's like balance the energy. And they're saying that you are ready. And just remember to keep it in balance. And then I'm watching you get like a panic attack. And they're saying, and when that happens, take these two hands in balance. This practice they've just taught you. You're going to want to watch this again. And so is everyone else to get this practice. Thank you for bringing it forward for all of us. They're saying do this often. And when you're feeling it, bring it right here to the throat because your throat's going to be invaded. And the other hand right underneath it, high heart. Receive, breathe, relax. Smile and know that it is your moment. Stay here in this knowing and wow, let it be amazing. Just let it go and let it be. And so it is. Thank you, my angel. I love you so much.
Oh, so much. Thank you.
Thank you. And I have to stand up. Forgive me. I need to just, wow, my energy field, my back. And there was so much energy, it literally pushed my chair down. Do you see this?
Yeah.
So look at that.
Yep, there it is.
Wow. Okay. And my back. How's your spine? How's your spine? All right. So, it's like, let's go up, right? Let's really, get the spine open. So that practice, and this is part of what's going on with this ascended Kundalini, guys. So sincerely, I'm asking, how is your spine? My spine right now is saying, yeah, let's activate more. So what just happened was, and again, the UK, and I think we all should really give a bow to everyone who's on the island right now. Everyone who's on that island, that they're learning. They are taking on lessons that are profound and will affect the planet. Yeah. And that's not to say that's mutually exclusive. Every country is. It's the way that they're doing it right now is getting very small and very intense. And so it's going to really take our recognition of those who are doing the work, like our caller, and look at the blessing. In that recognition, we were all just given that incredible attunement. We're going to have to, Bria, you're going to have to cut that out. Make sure we get that out as a practice. Yeah. Wow.
Wonderful.
Woo! All right. Well, let's go over to...
we'll go over to BBS Radio,
Wow.
and it looks like on line 5 we have Consuelo from Chicago, a first-time caller.
Bienvenido, mi amor. Welcome.
Hi, how are you?
We are loving you.
Hello.
Hi, honey. Turn down your
my
radio.
God, I'm so nervous right now.
We
Just
love
take
you.
a breath. Take a
Hi.
breath. We're glad to be with you.
Just breathe, my angel. We feel you.
I just wanted to say thank you for everything that you guys do. I recently had a spiritual ritual, and the name SRI came into me, and I saw you. I saw someone. I saw your face, and I don't know what that meant. And I just like been here listening to you guys, and I don't know, just something that you want to say to me.
I want to tell you, first of all, how much I love you.
Yes.
I want you to just, you are, like, my heart is melting because this is your moment. This is supposed to happen. They're saying that what you are now aware of is that you don't have to doubt anymore. That everything you're seeing, everything you're remembering, everything you're knowing, this is your time. And I'm so honored. I don't know what to say because you're so beautiful. And the world is so ready for you, honey. You just be you. Say yes to you. And God, I'm just like, until I can hold you, it's like, un abrazo muy grande. It's like, I just love you so much. And so, just keep saying yes to you because you're ready and you're not crazy. You are very aware. You are very aware. Don't doubt it. Don't doubt yourself.
Thank you so much. I thank you for everything that you do, and oh my God, I just can't believe it. Just you guys came into me, and when I was at this ritual that I was doing, it was just telling me that I needed you in my life. I needed to hear this. I needed to. No, I don't know. It's just so weird that your face came into me, and I was just like, God, I'm so nervous. I don't even know what to say.
Breathe.
Okay.
Breathe. Bring your hands to your heart. And the only thing that you need to hear is how much I love you, that the universe has you, babe. There's like this huge, massive energy that's right behind you right now. And it's like, we got you. We got you. You can relax. it's like, okay, I am here. I am ready. I am open. Guide me. And you're saying yes.
Yeah.
So let it be amazing. Let it be amazing. This is your moment to let it be amazing. And I'm just really honored. So thank you so much. I'm so glad you called in.
Many blessings, dear.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for everything that you guys do. Thank you.
Thank you.
It changed my life.
Oh, mwah. We love you, sweetheart. Thank you.
Bye-bye for now.
Namaste. Yeah. Wow, you feel that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope you're all feeling that as much as we are. This is the gift of that mastery truth. Right? You know, I'm enjoying that today's theme, that everybody we've been connecting with, whether it was our letters earlier. And I do want to share one other letter, Shri, because this was another letter that came in, and it just touched me so deeply. And so it touched me because it really is another one of these, just like this caller, and it's what reminded me of this letter, and I want to make sure I read it, is paying attention, right, to everything and all the synchronicities. So this letter came in from one of our listeners, one of you, one of our beautiful community. And again, you can send us your letters to guest@ShriandCareRadio.com. And here it is. It's from Amanda. Hey, Amanda, you rock. Here's her subject line: the lion, dragon, phoenix synchronicity. Now, I'm going to read her whole letter because I think it's going to relate to a lot of you, and I just find it really great. So you ready? Sit back, start sipping. Here you go. Hey, Shri and Kira and the team. I love tuning into your YouTube videos. I sync up with what you put out weekly, and am always in amazement with the synchronicity and the present awareness that comes through. But this week, whoa, buddy, I'm reading verbatim. Okay. First, off to set the scene. Half my body is sprawled out on the couch, and the other half of me is just like free flow all over the floor, half clothed, munching away, and I'm here just to talking and interacting with your videos like we're just casually having brunch, and y'all can hear me. Yeah, we can. I'm loving our brunch. Okay, so I'm just loving this, right? So I'm watching a video you put out recently, and I'm watching it, and first you mentioned the lion energy, and I'm like, yeah, loving the lion and Lyran type energies. I have a colorful lion mosaic on my somewhat of an altar space side table. This drawing just randomly came into my life as a gift from my little brother-in-law unexpectedly, and it just happened to be there on the table. Then you're like that dragon energy too, though, right? And I'm thinking, well, that's pretty cool, because I also have a wooden dragon figure on my table that I love to feel the wisdom and strength of the dragons from. And I also was randomly just given this item, right? This time from a friend who I thought I could do something with it. And again, it over time ended up on that side table. And then, capital letters, you mentioned the phoenix, and I'm like, no way, man. I have these 3 large abstract paintings of fiery reds, oranges, and yellows over that side table that were found by my dad and given to me to do something artsy with. I was going to continue the theme and do something fierce, resilient, and expressive on it, like dragons or phoenixes. So at this point, it's all just hitting me that all these things came into my life so effortlessly, so casually, so perfectly, just like me watching your video in perfect divine timing, to show me and to reflect to me my true power. Our true power. To live my truth stoically and courageously, with the grace of the lion, to be the alchemist with the transformation of the phoenix, to hold all with an open hand, and to remember what is true with the wisdom of the dragon. Thank you, Shri and Kira, and all who are listening, for simply existing and being you, for playing all the different characters in this amazing game of light. And then she has this beautiful light language for some extra empowerment. Sincerely, this crazy, magical little mofo. And I'm going to show you her pictures here. Let's see. This is the best I can do. It's on my iPad. I don't know if you can see it, but look, oh, crow. What did I just do? Kira. There it is. Okay, so there's her altar right? With the phoenix, and this is the dragon, right? And the lion's in that frame. And look, this is her. This is Amanda. We love you. So I just wanted to share that with all of you, because this is is she the best? Look at her. Is that the best picture? We love you, honey. So this is what we're about. This is what this moment is about. It's celebrating and saying yes to who we are, and spiral time. Amanda, that was spiral time. Look at all those things that came back to you that you've been preparing for. That's spiral time. I mean, it's just fabulous. So Shri, who's next? I know we have lots of people waiting.
Well, I tell you what, I'm being called to go back to the United Kingdom. We have another caller.
Okay.
Over here at Wholeness Talk Radio. So let's say hi, United Kingdom.
Hello.
Hi, namaste. Welcome, Angel.
Namaste. Oh my goodness, I can't believe this has happened. I have been literally waiting for this moment. I had a calling today to reach out, and it's like my prayer was answered. It's an honor to be hearing you both speak right now.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're
Just
glad to be with you.
Feel it returned infinitely, my love. I mean, wow, I am already with you. Wow.
I just wanted to say, since I actually sent out a little message on your website, I just had a literal calling to just reach out. And since I came back from my first trimester at university, I had been sort of searching for something. I had this urge to keep just looking, and I wasn't quite sure what it was. And I just eventually stumbled upon your channel, and I'm sounding breathless right now just because I'm taken aback by just this particular moment. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
And I had this feeling, I remember, sort of when I was 14 years old, and I remember I just used to feel so in touch with the universe, a sense of me, a sense of a presence. And for a long time, I felt after then I had sort of forgotten who I was, and and you guys helped me remind myself. Just from listening to you guys, there was a part of me that truly just accepted and was really ready to hear and listen. And I'm so grateful for this moment, and I'm just in awe. And I was just wondering if you could give me a mini soul reading, perhaps.
Oh, sweetheart. Of course we can. And I first just want you to I'm just so overwhelmed to meet you. I'm just like loving you. I'm like, you are a love bubble. I'm just like, I feel you are like, I feel like we're in the middle of this beautiful lotus, and that we're in the, like, that beautiful part in the middle, and all the other petals are open. And it's like we're having this private little meeting in the middle of the lotus, and everything inside of you is radiant. Your eyes are radiant. Your energy field is radiant. Your body is trying to align and illuminate so that you can really, the word they're giving me is relax into receiving that which you are without the resistance. It's like they're saying, come into that center of the lotus. Stay there and receive this renewal. It's like everything around you is like new life. Everything around you is birthing right now, and it's love based, and I mean that love that cannot be ever taken away, because it comes with a presence that generates miracles. You're a miracle generator, and you're stepping into that capacity, and that's why we're here now. That's why you found this channel. That's why we're connecting beyond this. That's why you're in the UK. Yeah. You guys are doing big work. And so you're one of those beings that the universe tapped on the shoulder and said, hey, we need you now.
Yep.
Right? And so we're going to open some doors for you and make it a little easier. And that's because you're so beautiful. So I just want to thank you for being on the planet.
Thank you. Thank you both. I have an immense amount of love for you, and I can just feel it in my heart and in my gut. I just wanted to really let you guys know, thank you for being and just doing what you do. I am so grateful to be in this moment with you both.
Oh, you're bringing tears to my eyes because I'm just
Thank
loving you so much. You do what you do, baby. It matters.
Yeah, and as you head to that university and keep going, there is nothing you need to conform to. Let the game come to you.
Yeah, because you're ready to command it. We love you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Angel.
Much love.
Namaste.
Bye-bye.
Oh, breathe. Are we all, am I the only one crying? Oh my gosh. Thank God for waterproof mascara. All right.
Let's
Okay.
take a moment.
Are we
Yeah.
loving each other today? This is the gift, right? This is that thrive moment. Look how this community, look when we get together, what happens. How are you feeling right now? Right? And this is also the blessing of hanging out for the second hour. This is what I always like to call family hour. And it's another reason why you want to be with us tomorrow. Monday Magic resumes tomorrow night. I can hardly wait. So if you have not registered, get to ShriandKara.com. Register. You need to register. Even if you were with us last year, you've got to register. It's a new year. You got to get in there. So make sure you've registered.
And you're welcome to register for the whole series or just grab one participation
Whatever
to
you want.
test the waters, so to
Yeah.
speak. But we invite you to say yes to your ascended nature and to start conversing in ascended language and with folks that are holding this frequency.
And remember that all of those donations, which start at $1, all go to our humanitarian aid projects. We are feeding hungry people and helping those without homes. And we really appreciate your love and your presence and knowing that there are ways to relieve pain. And, that's the gift of Clinica Linda. And so please, know that your donations for Monday Magic matter, as do your donations for the calendar. Get to ShriandKara.com. Grab the calendar. There's a lot of content in there. I will be referring to it on the show during the entire year, so it'll really help if you have your own copy.
One of the things I want to underscore and acknowledge right now is that my beloved Master Lady Kira Ra has brought through some amazing, potent, and accurate information. And the love and energy she poured into the calendar for this year is phenomenal. And I invite you to connect with it, to get your own copy and invest in the ink and print it out.
It's beautiful.
The artwork alone will activate something within you.
And we're going to be talking about that artwork on the air all year long.
Truly a gift.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
I just invite you to take advantage of that, and also to remember that we are in an interactive service, all of us, and that as you offer a Shakti exchange of whether it's $2 or $2,000, doesn't matter. What it is an act of heart that it is then shared with those that need that reassurance and support. And together we are better.
Absolutely. 2021 is going to be about healing the heart of humanity. And that's going to really bring us into that beautiful equinox in March. And we're going to stay right here in January because we're in the week of the 13th. Again, it's going to be this week. It's the 13th, which is going to be a massive, it's just like an ignition beyond ignition. And so the 13th is going to be this peak illuminated new moon up level happening literally in the shadow of the first Mercury retrograde pre-phase. So these two run together, 13, 14, which means the massive energy will be on the 13th, but it'll reverberate into the 14th as it enters into that pre-phase of Mercury. This is going to be a very powerful time. This week, what happens this week takes us to the end of the month. And Shri, put up the calendar again. I want to show that full moon energy again, because that's important to know as well. Remember, look at that full moon on the 28th. Now, I want you to pay attention. The 13th, you'll notice, you see the cycle that we're in right now? Look at the following Wednesday, the 20th. This is a day where everything has come together. You've got converging cycles in the energy of the peak up level. When the Mercury retrograde pre-phase is picking up steam, this is going to be another watch day. It's going to be January 20th. So again, this is the moment. Imagine everyone in their highest be the creator of your divine, amazing presence. And that's what's happening today. Are we going to invite another divine, amazing one in?
Absolutely. Let's run over to BBS Radio,
All right.
and we'll go to line 4 and say hello to Lori from California.
Hey, Lori. Namaste.
Hi, how are you?
We are loving you,
It's
sweetheart.
good to talk to you.
You too.
A lot of things happened last year. I know for a long time you were encouraging me to move, and I did. And then wondering how that all looks and how the year looks. I had a lot of loss, actually, last year. My dad passed away on November 30th, and one of my best friends just last week. So there's been a lot going on.
Yeah. Well, first of all, bring a hand to your heart. You know, as someone, you know, I lost 2 brothers in December, so I really hear you. And, you know, so let's bring your hand to your heart. And this is part of the mastery that many are going through right now. You are not alone. And you are really going through an energy of mastery journey, which is to own your mastery presence to the depth of your soul, thereby being able to see the highest in all experience so that you may continue to evolve, anchor, and be the highest of your experience. That is what your higher self wants you to hear. And what I can share with you is that this beautiful being is presenting themselves very, very tall with like this white, I don't want to call it a veil, but it's beautiful. It's like a scarf that's white over the head, but it has this big silver like band that's holding it on. And I'm not seeing much more form other than face, and then receiving what you just heard. And the final message, as right up here in my crown, is just being like really like wow, like big spiral energy, that it is time for you to really say yes to you, and that you're enjoying the collapse, and that you need to source that because it's not the truth of who you are, yet it is the you that is currently experiencing, and the reason you are here now is because you know that. And now you're ready to harvest the jewel of that. And so it is. Thank you so much for being here today. We love you so much, honey.
I love you so much, too.
Namaste.
Many blessings.
Namaste. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm dizzy. Are you guys? Let's all breathe, because I'm not even sure I remember what just happened. So, you know, we're in one of those moments. There's a lot of energy here. Yeah. Wow.
It's important
my
that
crown.
we practice many connections. I was about to say many connections, but many. Many. And what I mean by that is life, meaning the engagements that we have set into motion already, will call to you.
Yeah.
And whether it is a level of consciousness that you use to propel something, is almost like a contract, but that's not the right word. It's just that we propelled something and now it's coming back, and now I'm greeting that from another level of consciousness. So life will call to you.
Yeah.
The key is to keep coming back to the foundation of your ascended state of being.
Yeah.
The heart is your foundation. And as a foundation, you build from there. Divine wisdom rises up or becomes present as we foundationalize the peace that is love.
Yeah.
Love does not exist without peace. Take that in. That as we anchor peace in our own heart, we're able to move into compassion for all that is, which is a different understanding of love versus the kind of the worldly sense of that. And so when I said to you many connections, what I'm referring to is throughout your day. Do you have a Post-it note on your computer screen? Do you have some Post-it notes or other reminders around your workspace or your home?
Yeah.
Because we need to call ourselves back frequently. And whether it's looking out the window and looking to the clouds and the sky, and then look beyond the clouds and the sky and connect to the energy of the cosmos and call that in, or whether it's using your breath, Ave, Sa, and taking 3 or 4 profound clearing breaths, coming right back into present time and not allowing the distraction and diversionary energies to dominate your day.
And I want to add one more to that, the mantra of self-ascension.
Powerful.
Very powerful. And this is why we have it everywhere. I mean, literally, guys, I have it as a mouse pad in front of us, right? Both versions. So we really do what we say, have it everywhere. I can't even begin to tell you how many times many years ago especially, I'd be like, I am here, I am ready, I am open, guide me. And if I just kept saying it, it really guided me. 4 non-dogmatic lines that will take you to your mastery. I am here, I am ready, I am open, guide me. And when we do that with the Ave Sa breath, we are sending a clear signal to the universe that we are igniting our ascended presence. Yeah. Thereby, we are expanding our consciousness. Thereby, we are able to have a greater experience of our manifested co-creative blessings, bounty. That's the law of instantaneous manifestation. And it begins just by loving yourself enough, by putting enough compassion around yourself to get and hold the 5th dimensional presence.
That love of yourself, love yourself more.
Yes.
And once you have that, love yourself more.
More. And once you have that, you get it, right? Concentric.
Because the love of the self, and I'm talking about your ascended self, brings forward the energy of trust.
Yeah.
Trust is the gateway energy that allows us to transit the seemingly unknown spaces, the seeming void. And I say seeming with an emphasis on once you transit it, you'll remember it. However, when we first step in, there is a moment where we're called upon to trust.
Yeah.
And trust is indeed ascended love. So, beloved ones, we could say hi to one more caller.
All right, we're going to sneak in. Well, okay, we're going to sneak in a caller, but you're going to have to talk fast.
All right.
Where are we going, Shree?
We're going to Oneness Talk Radio.
All right.
Folsom, California.
Folsom, California. Hi. We're going to sneak in.
Whoa.
Woo. Hi. Hi.
Oh, but the connection is
We're going to have to say goodbye. I'm sorry. We love you. We're almost out of time, and we couldn't hear with all of the static. So we're just going to wrap our arms around you that everything we needed to do together is happening right now.
Send a little blessing
feel that
to
in
you,
your heart. And maybe, Shree, that's what the universe was telling us, that this is really a moment. Remember, the week ahead, and my crown won't stop calling me, guys. Really pay attention. The week ahead is a profound new moon illuminated peak up level on the 13th, in a moment where the ascended process, the infinite presence, the digit experience of wholeness is being exploded. And it's coming in the shadow of the ignition of the first pre-phase of the first Mercury retrograde of the year. So everything that happens this Wednesday and Thursday is really inviting you to stay here. Invite your mastery to be the guide. Love yourself enough to know, what are you creating right now? Ignite your divine inspiration. Say yes to the higher self, because the higher experience of all is yours to call forward by seeing it in yourself and thereby holding it for all. Yes. The January calendar, the full year is out. Please go to ShreenCare.com, grab the calendar, look through it, read it. Join us for Monday Magic. Tomorrow night, we're so excited, living an ascended life. And be at Soul Mirrors this Tuesday. I have a very high-profile guest, Chris Foles. We're going to have an incredible conversation. Big show this Tuesday. You want to be at Soul Mirrors as well. We love you with all of our heart, and may you know that all is truly well.
Big breath in. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you for joining us at Shri and Kira Live. To have your questions answered, send us an email to guest@shriandkiraradio.com and check out more information at shriandkira.com. See you next week.